Pan-African Media TV. Today is Monday, the 6th of October 2025, and we are always delighted as usual to bring you updates on what is making news around the world. I am Frida Nken, and we shall be right back just after the transition. Welcome back, beautiful people. If you are just tuning in, you are live on Pan-African Media TV, and the program on air is well in print. On today's edition of the program, I shall be joined on set by Dr. Ahmed, with whom we shall be analyzing the most catchy news items. But first, up next is our weekly press review with our first stop taking us to the United States of America with New York Times. Ladies and gentlemen, this morning New York Times is carrying as major caption, as AGM anniversary nears, Israel at war with itself. Away from New York Times, we go to Los Angeles Times, headlining this morning, 2,500 homes lost more than 5 years later, only 38% rebuilt. What California fire survivors face the road to rebuilding. While these other story tells us that Trump executive pass face test, birthright citizenship, tariffs, and other crucial issues may be where the Supreme Court draws the line. Away from the United States, ladies and gentlemen, we move over to the United Kingdom, starting with the Yorkshire Post this morning, carrying as major caption, call to act, protest local pubs and stores as committees new strategies powers of safeguarding assets. This morning, Morning Star on its own part carries as caption, remembering Battle Castle Street by rejecting hate. The report says that campaigners have vowed to stand up to hate on the anniversary of the Battle of Castle Street, or the most significant following Thursday's horrific attacks at Manchester synagogue, as today's marks 89 years since thousands of anti-fascist Jewish, trade unionists, and communists successfully blockaded a major British Union of fascist march through London East End. While Financial Times on its past this morning captioned, police officers shot, victim killed in Manchester synagogue attack. Chief Constable admits error and says that they should avoid every gathering or any anti-Palestine march to take place. Away from the United Kingdom, ladies and gentlemen, from one continent to another, we move over to Nigeria with the Punch newspaper this morning carrying as major caption. The Punch this morning is carrying as major caption, 2027 Jonathan weighs ADC option amid comeback reports. Party chieftains confirmed ongoing talks with ex-president. We defeated him before, we will defeat him again, APC boast. While these day headlines, I never accused Buhari of links to Boko Haram, Jonathan clarifies. The paper says that former president of Nigeria, President Goodluck Jonathan, has refuted the fact of accusing late President Muhammadu Buhari of having any connection with the Boko Haram insurgency. Report says that former President Goodluck Jonathan has refuted this report, claiming accused the late President Muhammadu Buhari of having links with Boko Haram, saying his comments were malinterpreted. In a statement issued, Jonathan's special advisor on media and public affairs, the former president said he never suggested or implied that Buhari had any connection with the terrorist group or supported it in any way. From Nigeria, we move over to Cameroon, ladies and gentlemen, starting with the Guardian Post newspaper that carries as major caption, ahead of October 12 pulls SDF on verge of implosion. First Vice President Senator Shanghai threatens with dismissal for attending security meeting organized by Minat boss but justifies presence, fires back at party hierarchy for giving him a bad name in order to hang him. Cameroon Insider on its part caption this morning, PM's nationwide tour train reaches East region. Away from there, ladies and gentlemen, the reporter still in Cameroon captions humanitarian assistance in Bamenda. Presidential couple offers 500 bags of rice to unprivileged and fuel to bike riders. The Sun on its part still in Cameroon headlines, October 12 Pulse campaign, Chiroma riding a wave, OC combing towns, villages, why we are still absent. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how we saw it on today's newspaper roundup. Stay nowhere, go nowhere, for we shall be right back for the analytical part of the program just after the transition. Welcome back, beautiful people. If you are just tuning in, you are live on Pan-African Media TV, and the program on air is well in print with me, Frida Nken. Like we are saying, today is October the 6th, 2025, and it is a new broadcast, and we are delighted to bring you fresh updates. We are just done with our newspaper roundup that has taken us from the United Kingdom, roaming to the United States of America, going to Nigeria, and landing in Cameroon for what is making news according to newspaper headlines. I am not alone in the house. I've been joined on set by Dr. Ahmed, who is a public health consultant, a board member of West Africa Botanic Research Council in Ghana, and of course, he is a political analyst. He is an encyclopedia. It's not ordinary to have people who are so, groomed and are so exposed to happenings around the world, to have them on set today. We are very privileged to have him this morning talk to us on Well in Print. Doctor, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Madam Frida. It's a pleasure being in your studio this morning again.
So how have you been? It's been a while since.
No, we thank God. We are living in a kind of a very tense political atmosphere these days, but we thank God. I think things, there are no hinges anywhere. Things are moving on smoothly.
All right, Doctor, you are, let's just start. Before we dive into analyzing what newspaper headlines have said this morning, I want us to talk a bit health this morning. Health is wealth. If you are not in good health, there is nothing you can do. So you have been having workshops, you've been having seminars, you are involved into research about health. So from what you've seen so far, let's take the context of the Cameroonian society or the African society. What is the most recurrent health challenge that people go through nowadays?
Thank you for that question. I think it's a very pertinent question. Working with so many individuals on daily basis, monthly basis, consulting hundreds of people per month, I think that there are some main health challenges that if something is not done, the sub-Saharan Africa and Africa as a whole can be a victim of most of these health problems. The first of all that I've seen in the field is cancer. And the second, you have stroke. And then the third, you have what we call sciatic nerves, which comes up with age, and complications that comes up with age. These three are one of the most toughest health challenges. Why? And the first two are more deadly because cancer actually has treatment, but probably has just about 10% cure, possibility of curing. While thing like stroke does not have a 100% guarantee of cure. You could come back, but you cannot be 100% as before. So the first two are a bit challenging. And I'm thinking that the way forward, if you look at these things that I've mentioned here, putting aside diabetes and high blood, you realize that these are not challenges that our grandparents have before. Why are they featuring now? Why are they coming up now? Now it's because our lifestyle has changed, our mode of living has changed, our feeding habits have changed. There's a British scientist who says 90% of your health depends on what you put in your mouth. Yes, what you eat determines how you live. So we've come with a junk of things today which we are not before, which we introduced like diet. These are where most of these complications are coming before. We are embarking in the field on preventive measures. As a former British parable says, prevention is better than cure. There are situations you don't need to get in. So we'll be having a bigger program to tell people about 20 risk factors for cancer. Cancer exists about 105 types, but 15 types are more predominant in Cameroon and sub-Saharan Africa. And then we'll be giving people preventive measures. What are those food? Now the farms are cultivated with heavy fertilizers, which are some of the risk factors. Fertilizer is one of the risk factors. We are going to analyze and tell people exactly what to do, because there's no way for you to go to the market and choose food you have to consume which has not been cultivated with fertilizer. All farmers today have embarked on fertilizer. So we'll give a chemical method and a medical method well prescribed, well known, how you could detoxify chemicals from your system, so that people do it at home. And another big problem we are facing today that is coming from cancer is excessive consumption of bad fat, which we call low-density lipoprotein, cholesterol. Yeah, it's a backbone risk factor, because I want people to understand that there are two groups of cholesterol. We have the low-density lipoprotein, which is the bad one, which exists about 80% in your system, and we have the high-density lipoprotein, which make up the cell membranes, it builds tissues of the body, which is the good one. It's just 20%. So this cholesterol is the backbone of all what I've called to you here, because it causes blockages in the system. It can cause abnormal cell generation. That's production of new cells, which is cancerous. Cholesterol can do all of this. So we are organizing seminars to tell people how to limit cholesterol food and how to decongest cholesterol from the system. Taking into sciatic nerves, which is a pain that comes with age. When your legs are sound numb, you feel like electric current is flowing over your legs. And sometimes at night, you find it difficult to lift your legs up. They are heavy. Some people sit on one spot to get up. It becomes a big problem. The pain starts from your waist, touching your buttocks. I presented it in many other media. It starts from your waist, going down your legs, your buttocks, and everywhere. This is a very complicated illness that starts as a minor complication. And if it's not handled, it gets more and more complicated. So if you see 5 people outside moving with walking sticks or crutches, they have been in sciatic nerve pains for a very long time. And then the risk factor for this, what we will caution, the risk factor is still coming from fat, but what we will caution most people is that when you're of age, avoid taking painkillers. Over the counter. In the villages,
the consumption of painkillers is very recurrent.
It's very recurrent, and so because people, that's what we call auto medication. People feel some signs and symptoms, and they do their prescription, they do their intake of medication. So one of the worst part is taking painkillers. Painkillers is one of the risk factors for liver complication, kidney complication, heart complication. And the worst of it again, an injection like benzantine and other pain-killing injections that we used to administer to people. People above 40 should not be taking this, because by the moment these painkillers, this injection meets a track and go to wrong vein or wrong blood vessels, you are paralyzed for life.
Like doing more harm than
so we are instead teaching mama and papa what they can take naturally, their normal fever grass, their turmeric, maybe some of those things to blend them up to flush out cholesterol.
Yeah, we need to talk that detailing so that I'll go back to my own community and educate people, because what you're saying is very important. So there is another thing I want us to comment on before we rush down to talking about newspapers this morning. You know, Cameroonian teachers in Cameroon joined the international community yesterday, October 5, to celebrate the World Teachers Day, the 31st edition. So you have been in that domain, you have marked the GCE, you know the situation of the teacher in Cameroon. Do you think anything has changed? Let me just say from last year to this year, do you think the situation of the teacher, the teaching corps in Cameroon has changed? Should they be commemorating, should they be celebrating, or just brainstorming about their plight?
Yeah, Madam Frida, the situation is very regrettable, because year in year I have been a teacher, I've been a GCE examiner. When I left university, I used teaching as a transition. And we have celebrated a lot of 5th of October. And it's a worldwide commemoration of Teachers' Day. But in most structured countries, there's always an advancement in teachers' condition, which means that the 5th of October, teachers' salaries increment, teachers' allowances, and things like that. Now, but you look in the context of Cameroon, we are celebrating, just joining the chorus like other people. The teacher's situation remains the same for over decades. The teacher remains a teacher. A teacher was not supposed to be the poorest person in the community. But today, you and I here know that if somebody comes to look for your daughter for marriage and they say, I'm a teacher, they say, even you don't manifest the skepticity, internally you have some skepticity. I have been there. I know what it means, because they have made the situation of teachers to go right down. And they are the builders of the society. Anybody has passed through a teacher, we know that. It's an old song. They are the roots. They are people who train. They were supposed to, when you go to well-structured country, teachers are taking more care. They take more care with teachers than any other sector. So what is happening in Cameroon is just like 5th of October, teachers have to contribute money, they buy drinks, they go to a snack, they cook food, they wear uniforms, and then they remain with the same salary. You have 50,000, you still go back with the 50,000 coins. Sometimes schools that teachers teach are supposed to be organizing this, maybe even provide teachers some refreshment this same day. But many schools don't still do it. Teachers have to go to their pocket, contribute a small allowance they think they have to enjoy this particular day. I want to sound this to the ears of those concerned that celebrating, commemorating Teachers' Days is not enough, but looking into teachers' condition is more important, like it's done in any part of the world.
All right, thank you, Doctor, for that insight on what we had yesterday, and of course, and on our health tip, I want to say that was so enlightening, and I want to use this opportunity to say Happy Teachers' Day in arrears to all the teachers. I grew up in a teacher's house. My elder sister started teaching as early as 22. I was like her first kid, and she has taught for about 29 years and counting, and she's still teaching. So we give thumbs up to teachers. So we are going to dive into our analysis of what newspaper headlines carry this morning. We are going back to the United States of America. We shall be looking at Los Angeles Times. Yes, this morning they are telling us about, they say 2,500 homes lost more than 5 years later, only 38% rebuilt.
That's in the U.S.
In the U.S.
Yeah,
so, Doctor, when you see a situation like this, if we are in Africa, we think just some of those things they are just
every country, every country has its own. U.S. happens to be a country which many people think is a reference country that we have to copy from them, but people fail to understand that every country has its own challenges. Yes, all that glitters is not gold. We know U.S. maybe because of the hustling nature and the money that is available, but the administration but the good thing is that it's a federal state, so you always go back to those areas concerned. But it sounds normal. It's not abnormal. It's normal. Because U.S. have their own challenges. If you go to U.S., you see homeless people, even more than in Cameroon. You see people on political asylum who have not left the centers for years, and we in Africa, we are thinking that they are hustling, meanwhile they are in the centers. So these are challenges. They have their challenges. The aging people have their challenges where they are isolated, they are abandoned by their own children. They go to a geriatric center. So every sector has a problem. And I'm telling you that in any country you find yourself, as development comes, the guess for development increases. You keep seeing more things to do as you do many things. So it is just been normal that this can happen in U.S. All
right, okay, we'll leave U.S., we'll go to the United Kingdom to look at Financial Times. This morning, Financial Times is telling us about, caption, police officer shot victim killed in Manchester, synagogue attack. You see, chief consultant admits error. They are calling for visual. So, again, these are things that at times we say, us here, if people want to do like a protest, a peaceful protest or march for something, and they bring them Mami Watas, like we call them, people will rush. And this is a place where we say the rights, life is respected. You find people in a peaceful commemoration, because like in the other newspaper I was mentioning where it's 89 years since this happened, and it's just like an anniversary, celebrating an anniversary. Then you see now people want to walk in a march, a peaceful march, police shoots and kill somebody in UK, Manchester synagogue.
Yeah, this will sound abnormal in the context of a country like the United Kingdom. It will sound very abnormal because we know protests march past in the more structured democratic countries who call themselves democratic countries, is always very peaceful and even protected by the police. Protected by the police. The only thing is that you don't do any damaging. You can write your placards, you write your grievances on placard, you march. There's no problem. But
it's an error.
Yeah.
The constable says it was an error.
Okay, that was an error. You know, things like that will always come, even if it is intentional. It is difficult to admit that. Yeah, so it is abnormal in the context. But with us here, even they shut down 1,000 people, it is not an error, and it may not even be apologized, and it can be done intentionally. You see, these are two different contexts. In the context of Africa, people see protest as a rival, like a revolution, like an overtaking.
Whereas so it means to just express.
Meanwhile, it's a kind of citizen manifestation to show or expose grievances. That is it. So it sounds normal in the United Kingdom, but with us in Africa, it is normal.
You know, I wouldn't want to. You know, for those of us who comes from the northwest and southwest region, they say a gun is nobody's friend. There was a time I was coming back from Kumba, then we arrived at this last control. That's like is it a corner leading from
it's a corner, they control between a corner, yes. Yeah. Immediately you leave a corner as well.
Lo and behold, these crises have gone for close to a decade, have traveled for almost to a decade, almost every month, because my mother is bent on staying in her house. Okay. So I've been moving up and down. I never heard a gunshot, even in the midst of the crisis. But there's a day in that control, a gun shot the gendarme itself on the leg. And people are running helter-skelter like. It's like the gun was on ready to go. So a gun is nobody's friend.
That's true.
It is called gun. Gun means gun.
Yes,
is past tense.
That is really accidental, yes.
Yes, sometimes. It was an accident and people were rushing. Everybody were just allowed to cross and rush. The guy was down. So mistakes are funny. So we are going to Nigeria, like we are just spotting on one newspaper from Nigeria. I want us to look at this day newspaper from Nigeria that's talking about President Goodluck Jonathan, former president, who is clearing his name. Apparently there's news circulating that he tagged late President Muhammadu Buhari of being an accomplice of the terrorist sect Boko Haram and helping them. So he's clearing off his name. Do you think normally when you see who Goodluck Jonathan Ebele has been as a president, this could really be something even in the midst of hot opposition discussions between both?
Well, I'm not very deep in Nigerian politics, but I will actually say that I cannot imagine that this could come from Goodluck Jonathan, because you know, when Buhari won election, he was the first person who called to congratulate. And then during the reign of this Boko Haram issue in Nigeria, there's nobody who has fought Boko Haram as the late President Muhammad Buhari. Wow. There's nobody who has fought Boko Haram. Sometimes he is even at the front. So he has started fighting Boko Haram for long. I think they want just to tack Goodluck Jonathan black. He cannot really make this statement, especially when maybe if he's showing interest to come back.
That's true.
For elections, which is common in Nigeria. Yeah, all we need, somebody can still go and come back. At least there's a smoke change. Yes, there's no problem. But I think that I cannot believe in that rumor. Nigeria has a lot of political. Yes. We are fighting politics here, but they have a lot of differences within them. You have tribal differences, you have religious differences, which is the most dangerous one. So you see, but we in Cameroon, when though we are not united that way, but that our own does not really manifest. Sometimes I want to think that it depends on the population as well. Nigeria is ranked among the 14 largest countries in the world, with 200 million people. So we are just one state in Nigeria. Maybe that's why our own is not showing.
All right, we are diving into Cameroon. We've touched one paper from the UK, one from the US, one from Nigeria, and let's look at Cameroon. All the newspapers apparently have one story as a major caption, which is politics. There is no doubt that we are in barely days to October 12th. A few days. Today is the 6th, and we have 5 days, because the 6th day adding is going to be the vote day, which is Sunday, and official campaigns officially started on the 27th. That's last Saturday, and parties have been on the ground canvassing, struggling to convince people, struggling to woo. It's like a groom struggling to woo a woman. So a lot is going on. I just wanted to just, for a nutshell, before we get into details of what the captions are saying, what you've seen so far, how is the atmosphere well animated? Do you think the way campaigners are going, it's on good footing?
Yes, I think that there is something this time around. There's something new in the strategy of the candidates who are campaigning. I have seen all of them show a lot of effort, and they have proposed very good agenda. Actually, I'm not a politician, but I analyze politics from a distance. From what I've observed for the past weeks, I am seeing a kind of rally we saw around 1992, 1991-92, in the days of Frundi. And this is, I've observed this with Issa Cheruma. And his rallies, and then his courage, is somebody with a very big heart. His courage to go to a crisis zone at the time of lockdown. Visit Bamenda, from Bamenda straight to Limbe. I think this is a great step. And I think he's a very wise person, because he has done campaign without putting his steps in this place. It seems as if he's still with the tune. And his idea of apologizing to the Anglophones, whether the Anglophones accept or they don't accept, it's already a positive step. Yes, and that he was forced to do that. And so we need to forgive ourselves, because God forgives us on a daily basis. This is already a giant step. Another thing that you see him pulling crowd, from my own observation, it's just like you and I here. If somebody, we are talking about America, and we want to listen America from 4 people, how America is from 4 people. Among the 4 people, there's one person there who is coming from America. I and you will pay more attention to that person than the three people who are talking about America while in Africa.
Yeah.
So Issa Cheruma is coming from a regime which he has worked for decades. He knows the regime. He knows all the parameters that can be put in place. I think that's why people coming there and fighting the same source, the same regime that you are working with, has made people to pay a little attention. People know things like that have happened, and in the final long run, it was not what people were expecting. But this time around, I think it's different.
The narrative has shifted.
This population that is coming out want to really see what, like me, condemning my own father or condemning my own family. You would like to listen more. So now I think he's blended with a lot of experience about the regime. And then his campaigns are very tactful. And that's why you see population coming out, because all what he's talking is about solving peculiar problems in Cameroon. And one of the peculiar problems in Cameroon is about peace. We have lost peace in the north, in the northwest and the southwest. We have lost peace. So he is promising. And once you start promising people peace, you start capturing their minds. You see, there is nothing as bad as war. And there's nothing as bad as social instability. So we start promising people that you go back to your home, you stay safe. There'll be nothing, I'm going to do this. The person people thought was an enemy becomes my friend. When you start saying this, people start listening to you. That's why you see him pulling the crowd. But another thing I want to tell Cameroonians and the people outside there, the population in the rally does not determine the results of the elections. Yes. The people who come out in the rally, some are coming because they are manifesting the people's wish, the people's will. They are happy because you are talking what they wanted. But now the point is whether those people coming out, they are registered and do they have voting cards. That's another thing. You realize some of the excited youths do not even have national ID cards. And then he knows why he came at this time. But I want to believe that if he has then done this resignation some months behind and proposed this same agenda, maybe many Cameroonians who are reluctant to register for elections will have gone in for registration. So, but that notwithstanding, winning or not winning, we are already seeing the direction where the minds of Cameroonians are going to. They need a change. They need a change, whether it is for bad or for worse. They need a change. They just want a particular name to go, another particular name come. Whether it comes from north, east, or west. No, I think that is why they are manifesting like that.
All right, so we start with the Guardian Post to analyze Italy. The Guardian Post this morning is carrying as caption ahead of October 12 polls, SDF on verge of implosion. First Vice President, Senator Moshagir, the name, pardon me for the name, Moshigir threatens with dismissal for attending security meeting organized by Minat Boss. Okay, let's look at this. The senator is a SDF senator, but the Senate is still a government organ, I think. He's SDF senator, and he attended this meeting organized by Minister Tanganji, and the party officials are getting angry for the fact that he attended a security meeting. Is this right?
Actually, it may not be right. Why? Because in the times of election like this, it means that the country has no president for the moment. If you see the way elections are done in the other countries, you, the president, you leave the White House, you leave your own presidency. Then there is maybe the Speaker of National Assembly, whoever, take over. The elections are over before you declare yourself. But in the context of Cameroon, you actually that the administration is still going on while the people are foreseeing whether the government will change. So I think that the SDF reacting this way because they are thinking that at this time of the day, at this time of the year, the regime in place has no power to control a political party or to give any instruction because now we are on a campaign. They are almost equal. Yes, I think that's the way they are looking at it. They are fighting for the same thing. So you cannot go again to listen to the other person because you may not know the idea. He may give an idea that may frustrate the party. I think that's the skepticity as may be having.
That's true. Though, so Cameroon Insider on its part this morning is talking about, they say, PM's nationwide tour trains reaches East region. Now, I want us to look at Prime Minister Joseph John Gute, who has been here and there. He is doing it in this campaign. If you look at it, you look at Pierre John Gute has done a great job for the ruling Secretariat Party because the way they are canvassing, he is everywhere. There's one person who has been everywhere in this campaign and villages and towns militants of the ruling CPDM party pledging their undying support come October 12th.
Yeah, I think last episode we had here, we talked about his visit in Bamenda. This time he's in the East region. He's doing his work. But there's a small problem. Why are they giving him much work at this time of the year? Because in under normal administrative principle, the Prime Minister is the head of the government. He has to work in place of the President. Yes, you know, you know the UK. Yes, the person who rules the UK is the Prime Minister.
The Prime Minister.
So we've never heard about the Queen, the King doing something, but it's the British Prime Minister. So he's doing a good job. But I'm thinking that the work he's doing should be permanent. It should not be coming at a time when he's really needed. He should be the one to represent the president in all aspects, because he's the prime minister. In terms of Anglo-Saxon administration, that's how it has to be done.
But Cameroon, I don't think we have the Anglo-Saxon.
No, we don't have it. We don't have it. If it was really Anglo-Saxon, the PM could have been more than any other administrator. But here you see, if they want to classify, which I will not do it, if you want to classify administratively the powers of administration, you start from the president. The PM in Cameroon is becoming the fourth position. Yes.
All right. We'll look at the reporter. We are going paper after newspaper. The reporter this morning is telling us about humanitarian assistance. The reporter newspaper, please, can we have it on screen? Humanitarian assistance, presidential couple offers it. All right, that is it. Presidential couple offers this 505,000 bags of rice to unprivileged and fuel for bikers in Bamenda. What do you make of this? This was the Minister of Territorial Administration that went with this humanitarian aid. Do you think the aid is very timely for the population?
A good gesture at the wrong time, because at this time, anything you bring to any community that has been suffering, like the disabled community, they are looking at it as a bribe for elections. But these are things that should be done about 6 times a year. We should know where at the neck of the elections. I am just learning. Let me just extend this. I have been in Kumba for many seminars for more than 6-8 months now. There are about 4 quarters in Kumba without electricity. Do you know that since last week, without electricity means 9 transformers got bad? Just 2 days ago, 3 days ago, and there were some workers in Kumba with a big head office, but nothing was done. People were sleeping in darkness for almost 8 months. But at the neck of the elections, then there were some workers everywhere. The 9 transformers are being replaced. Electrification goes every day. It seems when you do that, you give impression to the people that let them suffer, and then we do a gesture at the end when it is close to election and create an impression to them that things can be good if they continue like this. So these things are good. Like that gesture is a good one. But my point is, it should not be at the time of campaign. People will, the interpretation will be different. It should not be now. They could have done it frequently with those disability. There are so many disability communities in Cameroon. They could have been doing that maybe periodically, seasonally. And then during time of election, don't even give somebody a dime. Allow the communities to remain like that so that people vote or do and take any decision out of their conscience, not out of because of a temporal kind of charity.
All right. The Sun, on its part, is still saying October 12 Pulse campaign. Chiroma riding a wave, OC combing towns and villages, but Bia still absent. We know that President Bia is absent on the scene as at now. We are still expecting, because our news has it that he's going to be in Marua in the hours ahead or days ahead. But he's absent. Does President Bia's absent, has it stopped his campaign from moving? Is the CPDM not everywhere as usual?
No, the CPDM, it will not stop the campaign. It's rather, it's an unfortunate situation, and it's an abnormal situation, because in the context of democracy, the person contesting for a presidency should be seen and should speak to the people. Because we want to know whether he can speak to the people and then be able to meet the people. But in the case where it's done by other people, it's not done like that in other countries. You have to be in the convoy. But whatever the case, it will not stop anything, because the CPDM has already a network of campaigns everywhere. They have experience. They have been there for long. They have put pillars everywhere, and they know how to manipulate and generate and activate people. So, it changes nothing. Yeah. His present or no present changes nothing. What has to be will be. That is where it is.
All right. Still talking Cameroon, and still talking campaigns. We are in the campaign season. What is your take? What do you have to say in relation to the combined campaigns that some political parties are carrying on this time?
Like Buba Bello and Akeremuna.
Ateki.
Yes, I think that coalition is important because there are certain political parties who do not have representatives or their impact are not felt in other places. But if they amalgamate, if they come together, and then it can diversify their impact can be diversified, and then they can be felt in other places. I think that joint campaign is okay. But on one point, that coalition should have a leader. We cannot be coaliting and then you are a candidate, I'm a candidate. The coalition should go with a single nominated.
What I know is Barrister Keremuna has ceded his position. He's not sitting for his political party.
Exactly.
Ateki has done the same.
Yes.
Yes. So they are just going to show that they are supporting this candidate. So that's why they stand by him. It
is very okay, because when you now look, that's why last time I told you that if the political parties had done what Frundi has foreseen many years ago, to make a coalition and remove one candidate, it is possible to succeed. Because when you're dividing their coalition, I encourage it. It's something to be done. Now with so many candidates, it gives advantage to the ruling regime. Just taking a slice of bread and sharing to so many people. So the person who has already 50% of the population gains the largest part of the bread. Then you take the other side of it. So if the vision Fundi had 91, 92, that they could opposition could have one candidate, and you saw it succeeded before something went wrong, which is beyond human explanation. And we still think that that coalition is good. But now I can also coalesce. When I discover that I have less militants and I have no possibility of reaching certain areas, I can bring people from other areas to work together with me. We are not fighting for individuality. We are fighting for a change. They are all fighting for a change. So if any of the opposition wins, it is a change. Whether it is A, B, C, or D, whether it is somebody you like or don't like, but there is that atmosphere of change. As Issa Cheruma just lastly said, that Monday 13, Cameroon will have a new breath, new sunrise, new oxygen, new everything. You see those promises now.
Yeah, it's going to be rebirth.
Yeah, it inspires people. No, just he is simply telling you that he will win. I think that technically that's what it's meaning. Conviction. That if he say new, it means that something is going to go and something is going to come. That's in his statement like that. So we just praying for peace in Cameroon. Peace is all we need.
So they give rice and fuel.
Yes.
Fuel to bike riders. For how long will this
continue? And this was in Bamenda.
This was in Bamenda.
And the bike riders will ride during the lockdowns. That is the problem now. Now it's a good gesture. Whatever you give somebody is always good. But it depends the intention by what you have given. Now we are doubting their intention. Whether they are really giving because of the people are disabled, or they are given to show up something and change a situation. That is it. Only God knows the intention behind. So,
Honorable Tumanu Njoya, the presidential candidate for the UDC party, was at Salle des Fêtes yesterday, insisting on the point that men have tried, and for long, it is time to give a woman a chance. What do you think about that?
Yes. What she's saying is true, but can she be able? You know, to really pull a crowd of people, it needs dynamic, powerful, soft-spoken, cajoling. People can cajole people. You see, one of the things that is making Cheruma to be cajoling people, because any environment he has read, any environment, he gives you what you want.
Yes.
Now, but this lady is saying like that. Is she that kind of lady that can stand and address a crowd? Can she try to be bilingual like Issa Cheruma? That is one of the cases. Just the fact that you go to Bamenda and speak in English,
in a language that
yes, somebody feel more comfortable. And you know, there was a coincidence in Bamenda when he said, we have to sing the national anthem. People said, that is, now for the way not go walk. Clear and clear. Yes. But you cannot blame those people.
Yeah.
Yes. Until the dust settles, until the cloud clears, the nimbus cloud goes away before no rain has stopped falling. But so you cannot come and be singing. It may mix some people's feeling. It may even cause a fiasco.
Yeah.
And then he is a very tactful person. He never also insists. No, he immediately changed to a different topic. So this lady is
He's flexible.
He's flexible and then has a lot of experience as well. Yes, we are not saying...
It's an old broom.
Yes, an old broom. I'm not saying this as I'm not a politician, but I'm observing from a distance that he is very cajolling, and then he knows how to put the square pegs in the square holes. And that this lady that is talking, can she do that? You know, one of the things that you see people like Akeremona, Osi Joshua, people love them because they are very bilingual people. Yeah. And first of all, there are people who already financially they are enough.
Stable.
Yeah, they are stable. So they want the change. You see them with the change, and they are bilingual. Until they will tell you, these are people who want, so that it will show that you respect the two brothers who are in coalition, who are in one country. You respect. But you go and you talk and you need a translator. I want to tell you this. If you get to go to anywhere now in the English region and you talk and they need to translate, nobody may listen to you.
Nobody may listen to you. And I want to say something. You know, when we're talking campaigns were to start in the midst of the lockdown. There were worries about the voices in the bushes, as we call them in quotes, with the lockdown announcement that people will not be able to pry. Do you think that with this, the way we've seen campaigners go to the field, like 3 political parties have been to Bamenda already? Yes, and
Osi Cabral,
Chiroma. The CPDM, I don't know, the CPDM has
they have been there. I think recently.
Yeah, should before. Yes, so you think at least the fighters heed to the call of the people that they should allow campaigns go on, so to permit the population listen, understand the manifestos, they know who to vote. Do you think they have heeded to the call of the people to allow this period so people could exercise their civic rights?
Now, one of the things, they're going there, I don't really take, it doesn't really matter. But what I look very closely is those behind in the rally when you are talking. If you look, those were when Issa Cheruma was talking. You look at those were when Osi Joshua were talking. They are similar individual people of the same, almost the same age, youths who are having hopes, who are thinking that their rights have been seized. And now, when you look like Cabral, it's the same thing. But now, when you look at the Minister of Territorial Administration, I quietly look at his background. I don't see those youths who were shouting at city chemists. I don't see them. I see more mature people, like people who are workers, like civil servants. I see them. So there is something. I just want to think that the voices in the bush, anything step, even you break, they know this person is going to come. They may have allowed these people, especially those on the opposition party. Maybe it's my honor to observe what will come out of them. That's why I told that Issa Cheruma is very strategic. He already was promising that I will release all political prisoners. I will do this because he know he is standing in that same environment. And maybe some of these people are coming to observe, to hear
what he will say,
whether he's on which side, and then coming with immediately starting with an apology. Could have given a listening ear to the audience, or automatically gave a listening ear to the audience. Because politics, as we say, is a dating game. Yes. I and you can be in the same house, we can be husband and wife, but when it comes to the political, we are different. Yes, but we come to the house, it's a different thing. It's not like military war. It's the same thing. So I want to think that they have given time to listen to them. But it's not as if
it's a good thing.
It's a good thing, but it's not as if they will be allowing people to go and vote. Those are two different things. We only have to observe and see.
We should pray that
they should allow. That's our prayers.
People to vote.
Voilà.
Yeah, that's our plea.
Yes.
As Cameroonians.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
for people to exercise their civil rights.
Yeah, it's a civil right. It's a responsibility. It's a duty, and maybe we should give it a try. They should just soften their hearts like they have softened it now. To see that come Sunday, people go to the polls to vote. So I want to look at something. I was watching news this morning, and the CPDM has a strategy, campaign strategy, like door-to-door, meeting the people kind of campaign strategy. Don't you think that that's one of the reasons why CPDM is so grounded? They visit to right to your doorsteps.
Yes, you know, their visit to doorsteps, the visit of the ruling party door-to-door step they have been doing over the years. And you realize that there are places that they are received, there are places that they are not received. It's not as if we hate people, but some people are tired of a particular name all the time. And I equally saw something which I have seen it only in Cameroon, where a caricature of the head of state and the wife was done, a very large caricature, and was marched over the street, was being exposed in the street, and was marching in a caravan, like it's a campaign caravan. This, I have never seen this somewhere. Why should they be bringing caricatures and pictures of people who are alive, who could come out and do it themselves?
Cameroon is different.
Now, there is a mixed feeling here. Now, we don't know whether those who did it actually are people of that party who wanted to do that, or are people of different opinion who wants to condemn the absence of those couple. That is where we don't know. So it can come from this book. It could be them. It could people want to say, okay, since people have refused to come out, these are you people. This is another thing. We have seen it. It's over social media. So it's something very disturbing. I've never seen that in any country. When somebody is leaving, the person should talk.
So is October 12 pregnant? Do you think October 12 is pregnant?
Well, Cameroon is what it is. Cameroon is what it is. At times, we have a very tense atmosphere. In the long run, things soften up. And at times, the unexpected can still happen. I know many people are very discouraged that, they know that the results will this. That is true. I and you know that is true. You know, the problem is not, the first problem is not just about winning. But the problem is what happens after winning. Now, I am beginning to know that Cameroonians are a group of people that they can act so much like that. And if elections come and pass and the same thing repeat, even there's manifestation, there's what, it cannot go for a long time. It will not go for a very long time like other countries that can even lead to a revolution. That cannot happen in Cameroon. Because
we are peace-loving people.
Because we are peace-loving people, and loving peace and living with that freedom is a big problem. And living with that, your own right, your opportunities as citizens not respected, then that peace you are loving is that peace. You know, the peace the Cameroonians are defining is just peace, like no gunshot, no this. They don't know that there's another symptomatic peace which we call peace of mind. It's not there.
If you don't have 3 square meters, you cannot.
If I don't act, it doesn't mean that I'm in peace. It's just that I have allowed bygones to be bygones. But in me, I have no peace. So what we are saying here is that it is difficult for any outcome of the results, which may not favor the populations, the will of the people, to be protected against for a long time. Because Cameroonians, when they protest for 1-2 weeks, and the bars are open, people start sitting for one bottle of castor, one bottle of music, and very soon they say, man, we are suffering what? You start your business back. But you know that with the people, when an uprising starts, like in this Arab world, if they say you are going, no matter how many years you go. This neighbor in Nigeria, though they revolt there, you would think that Tinubu has not gone, but a lot of things have changed. He knows where he's sitting, because he went for months. But here, bet me, it's difficult. The only protest that went for long was in 1991-92 protest, where you have the lockdown.
Nigeria's independence was on the 1st of October. They have had independence for
1st of October.
October 1st, their independence, they have 65 years of independence, and they have 17 rulers, 17 head of states.
They are more experienced than us. They have more experience than us, and they have a blend of different presidents that have ruled the country. You know, one of the things is that there is no perfectivity or somebody will be perfect to be a president. There's just that change. I can come with A, the next person comes with B, another person comes with C. In the long run, you have a collection of ideas that can push the country into development. That's all what people need.
And any person will come with something good from the start.
If any of these opposition leaders win, I'm telling you that in less than 1 year, many critics will still come up to condemn them.
Of course.
Yes, that's the nature of a human being.
You can never say
it's a nature. But the thing is that immediately it's just like I have been eating rice for 30 days, and then tomorrow, this morning, you brought me water for
It's like a cheating man on a
cheating
woman.
So when you bring me water for an arrow, maybe I don't like the arrow because of too much oil or whatsoever. You bring me a chew, I don't like because of too much oil. But my appetite for that food will be more than the rice I've been eating. So people just need to change that appetite from rice, from something to another thing. That's the taste people want.
So what should Cameroonians be watching out for?
Well, Cameroonians should be, I think that they should not always sit and fold their hands. You know, a lot of prayers have been said in this country. People have prayed. The Christians, the Muslims, we have been praying for peace, we have been praying for change, we have been praying for this. But the question is is the prayers reaching the Almighty Creator? Because when you pray when your hearts are not clean, and you pray to take over power and molest the people God created, that prayers can never be answered. Now your prayers is answered depending on your intention. Most of these prayers have been done but with very bad intentions that we cannot know. We want peace here, we want peace here. And some people who pray still are the people who trigger the problem. So those prayers can never be hit. So but what I can take Cameroonians is that we should first of all prepare for any outcome and take it the way it is. God time is the best. You can never change a situation when God has planned. It's destiny. We should plan for any outcome and take it the way it is. And they take peace of mind, not only physical peace, as a priority.
So if we were to talk to the youth, somebody was saying that you just mentioned something here that during campaigns, nothing is supposed to be given to the people you're struggling to woo. The political parties are struggling to woo. So all this money that has been disbursed, like when they give a deposit of 30 million and I heard in return they are giving 70 million for campaigns. What should the money do? What should they do with the money if they should not go to the field and try to,
No, yes. They are giving the money so that you can meet up with logistics.
Okay.
That's the first thing, meet up with logistics. If you see the movement each of the candidates is doing, it involves a lot of cost. Because it's a team movement, which involves a lot of logistics and cost. It's for that. Now, if they go on sharing money, in world democratic countries, you don't buy people's conscience. You don't need to give me money or rice. But if you give, I take. But if you don't give, I appreciate. If you don't give me, I appreciate you for not giving me. But if you give me, I take, because it's not yours.
You vote your conscience.
It's just like you borrow from me, you come in to pay back. I cannot refuse. I will collect the money. But if you don't give, I will appreciate that you are honest, you want development.
Yeah. But you receive somebody was saying, I will collect the money and I will vote my conscience. Let your conscience tell you, let your own problem, what you know as a problem that you're facing, be what guides your decision on which party to vote and which party.
In your ballot room is you and your ballot card.
You and yourself.
So you decide. But know that nothing lasts forever and nothing is hidden. In the long run, when we have taken one decision, we will know the next day. Even we don't know the next day and a wrong thing comes, everybody will know, but this was the decision taken.
Yeah.
To do this, we know. So people should clear their conscience, forget about our point now, whether it's who is coming so far as a Cameroonian, we need a change.
A Cameroonian. Yeah. So Dr. Ahmed, I want you to look into your camera and I want us to address the Cameroonian youth today. We shall be going to the polls come October 12th, which is next Sunday. And if there are a set of people who agitate a lot, who think their future has been sacrificed for a lot of things, and if there is a word we want to give out to the youth, Cameroonian youth, this afternoon as we are looking towards going to the polls, what will that be?
Well, I think it's a very sensitive question, and that question is very, very complicated, because that youth that I would tell them that go and exercise your civil right. Maybe if I was a politician, I said go and vote. If I was in that good position to push them. But most of those youths have not registered for elections. Because since time memorial, a lot of confusion, results have been known before elections are carried. So most of those youths are already discouraged. That is why we have now a problem.
A party?
Yes. Most of them have been discouraged from registering for elections. Now they can be having good ideas now, excited, but they will not vote. Now
they are caught.
They are trapped, because you cannot do anything now. The only thing is that, as I told you, that if these good ideas that is sounding ears to the very nice in the ears of the youth came before, maybe some of these youths could have been encouraged to vote. But what I want to just simply say, because there are still some youths that have registered.
I wanted to say that.
If you want to exercise your civil right, you have the right to do that. It's a civil right. You have the right to do that. It's a civil right. It's an individual opinion. As well, I can vote. I can decide not to vote. Nobody takes me responsible. I cannot say, why have you not voted? Yes. So, but we will advise the youth that routing, we should be focusing, we should be dynamic, we should be focusing on one direction, and we should not overact at any outcome of the results. Because you will see that in the long run, the fear I have here is that when there is always a social instability and a crackdown, the victims are always the youth. The people manipulating,
because they are the forefront.
The people manipulating in their air-conditioned offices, and only with a phone call, 20, 30 youths are down. So you have to be very conscious, know that life is one. When it is gone, it's not replaceable on this planet Earth. So they should be very careful that life, we know the country, we take things the way they come. And then we are already immune to those things. Our system, we have very strong immune system. So we've developed some immunity for all these abnormalities. So they should just swallow anything that comes, and then pray that God should change the situation over time.
All right, Dr. Ahmed, we have come to the end of our 1 hour discussion this Monday afternoon. I want to say thank you for coming, for your very insightful.
Thank you. The pleasure is mine.
For the educating us on our health issues, and of course on your analysis on our campaigns as we get towards elections come next Sunday. Okay, we hope that next time we'll call, you'll find out time from your very busy schedule, because I know you're very busy, to come and grace our platform to be able to enlighten the world and our citizens on what actually is happening in and out of our country. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we draw the curtains on today's edition of Well in Print. We've been in the company this afternoon of Dr. Ahmed, who is a botanist, and of course he is a political analyst. He is a member of the West African Botanic Research Council, situated in Ghana. He is somebody who is well grounded on health issues. In subsequent editions, we are going to be bringing him to talk more on health, because health is wealth. And to the Cameroonian youth and the Cameroonian population, we know that we are just days to October 12th, which is next Sunday, where we have to be going to the polls to decide our fate for the next 7 years. You heard it from our guest of today, directly to our youth. Be focused, be wise, be intelligent. Do not allow yourself to be manipulated, because in the course of any eventuality, you risk your own life while those manipulating stays in their air-conditioned offices. Ladies and gentlemen, Cameroonians of goodwill, I want to say thank you to Nasser behind the machines and his team for giving us these beautiful images this afternoon. And of course, to those of you who are watching us from out of the country, I want to say thank you for your faithfulness, for your, how do you say, fidelity. Merci de votre fidélité, like they say it in French. I want to say thank you for always being asked, for taking the rendezvous. And it is because you are out there that we are here every day. We come to sit to know that you are there watching us with very keen attention. From me to you is ciao ciao until we meet again on Friday before Sunday. Stay focused. Do not go anywhere without your identification card, because we are living very critical moment in the time of our country. Stay blessed. And from us to you is ciao ciao.